I do enjoy a good national brand hot sauce.
I want to go back into the discussion about what exactly it is that makes Semper Fi LLC, specifically the awesome hot sauce that I make, different than mainstream national brand mass-produced hot sauces. I did show that a little when I was going over the peppers. Today I want to discuss what makes our process different from a large-scale mass-produced national product. And that is going to be how we select our ingredients. Now, when you're dealing with a huge amount of, when you're having to fill numerous grocery stores throughout the nation and maybe even internationally, and you have to produce, and you have to have your own growers that just grow your own peppers just for your company, like Sriracha does and Tabasco does and things like that, you're not going to have the time. It won't be humanly possible for somebody to hand select each pepper coming down the conveyor line. You're not going to catch every one of them that may or may not have a little problem with them. So you are going to end up with rotten product. Like here's all these nice good habaneros here in this group here. And then you have this guy right there. And you can see that discoloration. It's kind of soft there. When I do it, every pepper, it doesn't matter what it is, if it looks brand new or not, the first thing I do is I cut off the top. I get rid of the stem. This stem is going to be processed into your mass-produced hot sauces. They don't have the time or the machinery to separate each stem. Now, maybe there's some out there that do, but from the ones that I've watched and seen the actual production of specifically firsthand, they leave the stems on. And then they'll add like extreme heat and chemicals and sugar in order to get rid of the bitterness that comes with having left the stem in there. We start off by not having the stem in there in the first place, and then we cut them in the center. Now what we do when we cut them that way is we can look inside and see whether or not there's any kind of mold or discoloration or rotting in the seeds or anything that would be indicative of some kind of disease happening to the pepper. If there is, we discard it. If there isn't, it's past phase one, and it can be part of our awesome hot sauce. That's not something that you're going to be able to do on a mass scale when you're using hundreds of thousands of peppers, and you can't check every single one. So that's why they use the process of heat, and then they use the process of, sometimes they treat it with chemicals, other times they add a bunch of sugar and some really harmful preservatives, and that's how they counteract whatever could be growing on the inside because of what they left in there. So I know I'm not trying to gross you out, but I mean, if you think about it, a mass-produced hot sauce has a lot more garbage in it than something that can be controlled by having one person look at every single thing. Obviously this one's not going to make it because it has that stuff on top, but I'm just showing you. You see how it's all the way down into there? You can see how it's black even on the inside there, not just that mark on the top. You don't want that in your sauce. You don't want to have that to be any part of your sauce, even if they do heat treat it afterward. So that's a discard. I mean, if you think about it, so every single pepper that goes in our sauces, I'm doing this too. Every single one. Every single one. I'm just going to do these in non-order here so that you can kind of see what I'm doing. But this is what we do. When I say we, I mean me. This is what I do. So if I'm making green genie, I'm cutting all of these peppers like this first before I even get to making the sauce. I'm looking at every single one of these before they go in to be part of our ingredients. A little bit off the top, down the center. Sometimes if they're big, I'll do another cut. But this is for inspection, and it's easier on our blender too. If you have a full pepper and you're trying to do this, the blender sometimes will have a hard time getting through it. You get more life out of your blender if you help it start to cut your product before you put it in. Same thing with garlic. If you cut your garlic before you put it in, it helps the blades not dull out as fast. And then there's that. And I just keep doing that, and I keep doing that, and that's the process I repeat. Obviously, by looking on the outside of this one, I already know I'm not going to use it. But just to show you what I mean on the inside, there's a whole lot of bad going on in there. Can you see that? That is not something that you would want touching something that you're going to eat. But yet, on a larger scale system, a larger scale production line, this stuff is passable because they take care of it later, so they say, with the heating, the chemical treatments that's supposed to kill things and get rid of bacteria and all that, so that mold can't grow, and then whatever else they treat it with as far as a preservative. So the difference is pretty visible in our sauces. You start off with fresher product. It makes for a better hot sauce. Now, am I saying better hot sauce in the sense that I don't like Tabasco, I don't like Frank's Red Hot? No, of course not. Those are what I grew up on. I absolutely think that Frank's Red Hot and maybe the Chipotle Tabasco sauces were part of my inspiration to want to make hot sauce myself. But what I'm saying is, you know that you're getting nothing but fresh stuff from us.